Hi, everybody. It's Miss Kyley, Program Director of 826 New Orleans. In this video, I'm going to continue working on my joyful moment story, and I'm going to use the graphic organizer that I used in my last video. That was a way of planning the writing. I'm going to use that today in this video to actually write. If you haven't watched that video yet, you might want to hop off and go see that one so that you can get your plan together. But if you have already watched it, then let's keep going. So in my last video, I used the Read, Write, Think, Explode the Moment graphic organizer to list all of the use of 5 senses to really paint a picture of what was happening in that moment. Explode the moment means you like really, really zoom into it to describe in good detail what happened. And now today, really all I have to do is kind of cheating. All I have to do is pull the details from that graphic organizer, decide the best order for them to go in to tell my story, lay them out in that order, and my story will be written. So let's take a look. Now, this is just a reminder of what I wrote in my Explode the Moment story. Explode the Moment graphic organizer. What I said, what I was thinking, what I was feeling, what I was doing, what I heard, and what I saw. And I thought it also might be nice to see a picture of my daughter in that moment. And remember, I am writing the joyful moment of when she was scared to go down a slide by herself, but she overcame her fear and she did it anyway. And this is her on the slide. Is the picture gonna pop up? Let's see. There it is. Finally, it finally got here. We can see her there at the bottom. Okay, so Miss Kyley is going to type just because my handwriting on the screen is really, really messy and I want you to be able to see it well. But so I'm going to type during this. But first, what I'm going to do is decide what order am I going to list these details in that best tell the story, and what would be a really strong way to open and close the story, which detail would be the best. Now, an interesting way that I like to start stories sometimes is by starting with dialogue. And so I think that starting with either something I say or with something that Naomi says would be a good way to hook the reader and bring them into the story. Now, because Naomi, it's all about Naomi being worried, I think that I'm going to start by using something that she said. So I'm going down here. Naomi said, "I'm scared. Can you come with me?" You guys, seriously just take this and start with that. Move it over here. And I want to make sure that you can see this writing. So I'm gonna make it big. There we go. Dialogue. So I got to use my quotation marks. I'm scared. Can you come with me? All right, easy peasy. I've already used one thing from my graphic organizer. Now, I started with a dialogue, which is interesting now, but people don't know where we are. So I want to pull a detail from my graphic organizer that tells people like lets them understand where we could possibly be, the setting of the story. So I'm going to go to what I saw here. You see that? All right. I look into Naomi's worried face. We are at the bottom of a huge inflatable slide. Next to my 4-year-old Y'all, it looks so big. It looks so big next to her. It looks like a red, yellow, and blue mountain. Okay, so now I've told you what some things that I saw, her worried face, and the big slide. Now I'm going to tell you, I think it might be good to tell you how I was feeling, right? So that's here. It's when I circle it, it helps me know what details I've used and which ones I haven't used. I am worried that she is worried, but I know she can do it on her own, right? So now I'm going to tell you something that I did. And I didn't include this in my graphic organizer, but sometimes it might come to you be like, oh, even though it's not on my graphic organizer, I can still include it in my story. I give her a big hug, a big smile, and squeeze her hand. Okay. And then this is what I tell her. Mommy can't go with you. I know you can do it. Okay. So I've already included lots and lots of details from my graphic organizer to tell my story. And I think I've set the setting and given you an idea of what was happening in the moment. Keep going because I have more details that I need to add. All right. Nervously, Naomi, I can tell you now that she starts to go up the slide, and those steps were like really, really big, steep. Steep is the word, I think. Naomi climbs the steep steps. But as she was climbing, you guys, she like kept looking back at me. All right. Looking back at me. And then I saw her at the top. And when she was at the top, she sat down so like carefully. Or gingerly is a good word. Like she sat down really gingerly. Gingerly, she sits down. And I could see that she was still nervous up there, but she took a deep breath and then pushed herself off. Deep breath. She pushes off. So she's coming down the slide now, right? And at first, her face was so like scared, but as she's coming down the long slide, it is turning from being afraid to being so happy, right? So her look of fear turns to one of pure joy as she comes down. All right, so let's see what I've included here. I've included Naomi climbing the steps, right? I'm standing at the bottom, looking up and smiling at her. I told her, I know you can do it. I'm proud of you. Oh, something that I haven't included is her being really brave. I think that I can include that now. All right. My heart swells with pride to see my brave baby fly. So that's how I felt. Then she comes down, and something that I didn't add in my explode the moment that I really should have is what she says when she got to the bottom, which I think made me and her both so happy. At the bottom, she hops off and runs into my open arms. I'm going to end my writing the way I started it, with dialogue. All right, let's see. Let me read it. I'm scared. Can you come with me? I look into Naomi's worried face. We are at the bottom of a huge inflatable slide. Next to my 4-year-old, it looks like a red, yellow, and blue mountain. I am worried that she is worried, but I know she can do it on her own. I give her a big smile and squeeze her hand. Mommy can't go with you. I know you can do it. Nervously, Naomi climbs the steep steps, looking back at me. Gingerly, she sits down. Taking a deep breath, she pushes off. Her look of fear turns to one of pure joy as she comes down. My heart swells with pride to see my brave baby fly. At the bottom, at the bottom of, nope, at the bottom, she hops off and runs into my open arms. I did it. That's why we always go back and read to see if we made any mistakes. Man, that explode the moment really helped me list all of these important details that happened in that moment. What order of details are you going to use to make your moment really stand out and really shine? Are you going to start with your dialogue, what was said? Are you going to start with what you heard? Are you going to start with how you were feeling? Are you going to start with what you saw? Take a look at your graphic organizer. Pick the detail that you think will really start this off with a bang and go from there. I cannot wait to hear and read these moments of joy.